Hello, all you awesome people. Welcome back to Geek Business Entertainment. And I am your host, as always, Hoover. And we are back with yet another, I guess you call it a review, an impressions, or whatever you want to call it, because I just watched Invincible Season 3. And I don't know what else to really say, man, but that shit was fire. I suppose, but that shit was fire. That's all I got think to say. I should have did this before. Damn, I should have did this before. Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. Let's just run that back. Bloop. Hello, all you awesome people out there. Welcome back to Geek Business Entertainment. I'm your host, as always, Hoover, and we have yet again a brand new impressions video, a review, whatever you want to call it, because I just watched Invincible Season 3. I didn't just watch it. I watched it quite a while ago, finished it a while ago, but I wanted to let it kind of breathe a little bit, let the show come out and let it breathe a little bit because this is going to be some slight spoilers here. But yeah, it's probably going to be a pretty short video because the shit was fire. I don't know how else to explain it more than that. But yes, Invincible Season 3 on Amazon Prime. Just wrapped up. It might have been about a month, maybe 3 weeks at this point since the finale aired. But yeah, season 3 was absolutely fire. It was another fantastic season. And I do have to say the fact that there was not a the fact that there was not a mid-season break in the middle definitely helped out in that because I feel like that mid-season finale, that mid-season break in season 2 was kind of weird and took away a lot of the momentum of the series when it first aired. So yeah, this one not having that, I feel like was a massive help. But in the meantime, yeah, like I said, this probably ain't gonna be too long because I'm pretty much just got a lot of positives to talk about with the show. But the show itself was phenomenal. Um, what I want to talk. What should we talk about first? I like how it's gonna sound weird because I don't think this has been a problem for the show, but it just kind of feels that way. I like how this season very much kind of just got back to Mark. Like I know it sounds weird, the entire series is about Mark, but I feel like last season they really incorporated a lot of the side stories, which was present here, but I feel like it was a lot less. And I feel like everything was just really orbiting around Mark. There were some side stories, but they never felt overbearing, or they never felt like they were kind of taking the spotlight away from things. Yeah, so like there really was a lot of focus on again, like I mentioned, just kind of some slight spoilers here. Not too much focus going to like Nolan and Alan on the Viltrumite ship. The Guardians of the Globe really took a back seat in this season as well. A lot of the side characters weren't really around too much. Like, of course, they were still present, but like I said, they were just not around a ton. So I really like the focus of just going back to Mark, focusing on his brand new relationship with Amber that took place in this season. Him trying to help out Oliver as Oliver's growing up and is trying to get into the superhero game. Um, so I just really liked all that, and then of course it's just the immense amount of of trauma this man continues to go through every damn season. But yeah, it was really good. The action is still up there, a tremendous amount. Um, the guest appearances in this season were great as well. You had Simu Liu appearing as a multi-Paul duplicate's sister. You had Aaron Paul came in as what was his name? Powerplex. I was gonna say Metroplex. That's that's fucking that's Transformers. Um, Fantastic job from all of those guys. Uh, what the heck is his name? He was Blue Beetle. I could never pronounce the man's name. Zolo. I don't know whatever his name is. But he played the uh the two guys from the future. So a lot of really nice, really cool guest appearances from this one. Um yeah. Speaking of characters who got kind of cut out, there was like Amber was barely around this season. I forget his what the heck. He was around so much less. I can't remember his name. William. Yeah, the best friend. He wasn't around too much. Even like even like Amber's parents kind of were very much put in the sideline. Like I mentioned, the Guardians of the Globe were really kind of pushed to the background in this season as well. Didn't see too much of them. Um, but yeah, but even with Mark sort of being like the main focus and focusing everything with that one, there were still some side stories that I really liked. They kind of I don't know if I'd say they wrapped it up, but they kind of finally kind of I think they kind of wrapped it up. The whole Monster Girl and Robot storyline, you know, him finally giving her the thing to help her out with her powers that he's been trying to do since they met. You know, that happened. His mom finally moving on in her personal relationships with Paul, her coworker. I believe his name was Paul. Um, you know, all that stuff was well and good. But clearly, I don't know how I don't know how I didn't see this coming. But definitely, my favorite side plot in the story was the Rex and the Shrieking Kate storyline and their relationship. Clearly, it got teased slightly a little bit in the last season. They were continuing it up in this season. Um, again, another reason I kind of wanted to wait because I knew this I was going to get into spoilers. I was going to try to tiptoe around it, but I think this is going to be a pretty decent spoiler one here. Um, but yeah, everything what happened with Rex this season. Like I remember, I looked back, and I watched like a lot of reaction videos from season one. I think it's kind of like a little way for you to revisit a show without having to actually watch the whole thing. And I remember everybody hated Rex in season one. Everybody hated Rex. I always found him just enjoyable. He was kind of just like the asshole, but he was like the comedic relief asshole. And seeing his character development happen in this season was really good to see. Of course, I should have seen that shit coming once the what do they call it, the Invincible War started. And I knew the moment he said something, and I knew just at that moment, I'm like, my boy's gone, ain't he? I think he was talking to Kate, and he just mentioned like how at this point in his life he's like actually happy and okay, and I knew it right then and there. I'm like, he ain't making it to season four. Why he ain't making it to season four? So yeah, again, slight spoilers if you have, I'll put it in the description. This shit that this is pretty spoiler heavy. But yeah, so I really like that storyline. Um, the Mark versus the Cecil thing, which I thought was kind of going to be the entirety of the season. Sort of the tension that rises between Mark and Cecil. They really kind of hyped it up, leading in all the promotional material leading up to the release of the season. But honestly, it really wasn't. It was kind of just focused all on the start. It was just kind of at the beginning of the season, and by like episode 3 or 4, there was still some tension there, but it was no longer like the main source of the tension. But I did like that, and also I liked how it did kind of bleed into the Guardians of the Globe and their eventual breakup and the team splitting up from there. So that was cool. I'm interested to see how it goes in the future. I'm definitely interested to see like where the Guardians go, where the relationship between Cecil and Mark goes from here. Because the season definitely ends with Mark in a different mind state than he has been operating in the entire rest of the series. So I'm interested to see how that shit goes. Um, what's some other things? Oh, speaking of the Invincible War, I really dug that. The Invincible War was really cool. I'm interested to get into the comics and see how much more was there that didn't make it into the show. But I thought that was really cool. I wished we could have seen like him sort of like building them because Angstrom Levy came back with a bunch of Invincibles from different multiverses, and they just attacked and kind of tried to wear Invincible down. I thought that was really dope. I thought it was really cool. I wish it was teased a little bit more. He was teased in the background for quite a while. He had like drones watching Mark in his house and all the shit like that. But I wished we got a little bit more of the teasing of that in the background. But that was pretty cool. The Invincible War stuff was really dope. Um, I feel like it was another one of those instances of them really playing up like how far behind Mark and just Earth in general is for whenever the hell this actual Viltrumite invasion starts. Because Marcus had Viltrumite, so they were dealing with like 6 or 7. I think they even said like it was 18 of them or something. A bunch of have Viltrumites, and they struggle with them. So uh, I don't know how they I don't know how they gonna handle a bunch of a whole army of Viltrumites when they arrive. So that was cool. The Powerplex storyline, that one was very interesting. Um, I personally, I sometimes just personally have issues with when a series kind of does something and they really just constrict um, big parts of a story and they just squish it all into a very small subsect. So like everything with Powerplex happened in like one episode. And I was like, damn, I wish we got a little bit more of this. But it was very it was told very effectively, I will admit. So even though it happened in one episode, I feel like it was extremely well done and really kind of put who he was, what his mission statement was, why he's feeling the way he feels, what pushed him over the edge, which is when they was like, which I think is another very interesting sort of commentary that happened from this show, which is like, bro, he killed a bunch of people in Chicago. Why are we not doing anything? And he like kind of gathers evidence. He tries to take it to the people who listen to try to get something done about this. And he was like, bro, he's invincible. Like what the like what the fuck you want us to do? It was very like it was very like reminiscent of like The Boys, where it's like the putting the heroes on a pedestal, and sometimes they get special privileges that other regular people you definitely wouldn't get. So I thought that was very interesting. But yeah, for him to put it all in one episode was very well done. The whole thing, like his wife was like the most down one in the whole thing. In the whole thing, she was down with it more than Powerplex was. And then for like him to get blinded by just his emotions and his anger, and then in the end it cost him his wife and his child, and in his delusions he still blamed Invincible for it. So I thought that was really cool and very well done. And then just the last point to kind of make on everything, fucking Conquest at the very end. I'm like, I'm like, bro, they are in like their lowest, weakest point right now, and now this shit, and now this shit happens. I was like, damn, that's fucking crazy. What the fuck? But yeah, it happened, and Conquest arrived. He was dope, voiced by Jeffrey D. Morgan. Great job from another guest appearance again. He was basically just fucking Negan if Negan was a Viltrumite. So that's just kind of how he was. But man, that shit was another brutal fucking Viltrumite fight. Just I love just every season. It's just Mark just getting his ass whooped by somebody at the end of the season. I mean, just so damn bad. Like majority of the whole series is just this man just getting his ass handed to him a majority of the time. But yeah, Conquest at the end. Conquest was fantastic. I love them. That little fucking again. I'm very like I said again. I don't really like things being just introduced in one episode and shit like that, especially if they play a massive role. I prefer slight teasing, slight mentions, just some things to kind of, you know, pique the audience's interest that something may be coming. You don't have to follow it up immediately, but just a little something to get it. But yeah, it was great. And once again, a very effectively done. That little fucking that random ass speech he gave to Mark as he just the whole concept of it, just like legitimately just whooping this man's ass, overpower him in such a lopsided fight, and this man just fucking this man pulled the Yin Yang Twist song and just did the whisper song in the man's ear. It just gave this nigga this whole spiel about his relationship with the Viltrumites and how he fits in with them and his whole. I was like, that's fucking crazy. Um, and sometimes just need a crazy ass fucking character just to come in and shake some shit up, and that's what I really liked about it. Because of course, yeah, like I said, Powerplex, Angstrom Levy, we've seen like why they are the way they are and why they kind of blame Invincible for shit. Um, but it's good to kind of have a character come in who doesn't really need any of that. They don't need an explanation. They don't need a backstory. They don't need all that shit. They just come in and they're just fucked up and they just here to fuck some shit up. So that was crazy. Um, Gosh, the fucking action in this. The action is always so great, so fucking just gory. It's just always so good. Like I said, I don't know. Like I said, it's probably ain't gonna be that long of a it ain't gonna be a long of a video because I it's just gonna be me positive everybody everything. But yeah, if I do have some negatives to talk about, there was that one episode where the two guys from the future came and took Mark to the future to take down some stuff. That episode kind of felt out of place. I understand if it might be an episode kind of exactly like I said, kind of teasing some things for the future. So until I don't know if any comic readers, will be familiar with the things that happen there. And if anything from there got teased for shit from the future. So I'll kind of give it the benefit of the doubt until we actually get to the point where anything that happened there is followed up upon and we learn more about that. Because it did seem like they teased some things. Some kind of sickness. I think he said Mark got sick or something, so he left the planet. Um, so yeah, so it's something we might have to see if it gets followed up upon in the future. So we'll see from there. But yeah, it just kind of felt like a very out of place episode. But other than that, that's about the most negatives I can think of. Like I said, everything else was pretty good. Um, you know, it's not a negative, but Oliver was getting on my goddamn nerves the entire season. Again, it's just like a personal thing for me. I just dislike characters who just are so just impatient and emotions first head and just headlong into shit. Like we've seen 2 seasons, and it's a very interesting viewpoint because that was basically Mark in season 1, just very much ready to just jump into everything and live up to his father and everything like that. And that's just basically what Oliver is doing this season. But of course now we know we've seen Mark deal with the shit, so we know all of the bad shit that happens in this superhero life. So it's like for Oliver to be so hard headed and so impatient to jump into it without being aware of all the dangers. It's just a little pet peeve for me, but I do get it. Um, can't lie, I was kind of satisfying to see that man. It's kind of satisfying to see the kid just get fucking mollywopped by Conquest in the end. It was violent. Don't get me wrong. I was worried about the kid, but it was like, thank you, please. Now, can you please just slow your roll a little bit, sir? after all this, um, yeah. What else? The Angstrom Levy stuff was cool. It was good to see him back. Um, I was kind of a little bit on thing like, okay, kind of he's still alive. Kind of a cheap cop out on the whole he survived thing, but it at least paid off in a dope way because, like I said, the Invincible War stuff was really fucking cool, and to go from the Invincible War stuff straight into Conquest coming and having to deal with that was wild. He whooped the shit out of Eve. I remember just going, God damn, when he just backhanded this shit over. Speaking of Eve, it seemed like she might be like low key the most powerful one they got. Like, once she gets that untapped power going for her, she might be pretty dangerous. She might be like their ace in the hole, but we'll have to see how that goes for the future. But in the end, Mark did actually beat Conquest. They beat him with the one thing I think we all should have learned from any cartoon, especially if anybody watches anime. We should have all learned that if there's one or two things that can defeat a Viltrumite, it's the power of love and friendship. So we should have seen that coming because it very much was the combination of both Mark and Eve that took out Conquest in the end. So we'll see. So yeah, I'm super excited for season 4. One thing the show does do well is they do well teasing things that are going to be coming in the future. So again, spoiler, y'all, it's spoilers already. If y'all don't know about that, y'all, I don't even know why you're still around if you guess you're spoiled already and you ain't seen it. But they tease like we knew from last season the fucking I forget what the hell they were called. The little squid things from Mars. We know they're back on Earth. It's gathering an army in the sewer. Battle Beast is back out because they broke out Battle Beast. Was that this season? That was this season, wasn't it? Because Battle Beast broke out. Um, so excited to see where he goes from here. What's the teeth? You know, one of my favorite fucking running gags from this series has been, I don't know what it is. Again, if any comic readers know if that was in the comics, let me know. Or and if it leads to anything in the future, let me know. One of my favorite running gag in this show is that goddamn mummy. I don't know what it is, who he is, or what the hell purpose they supposed to serve. But that goddamn mummy has been in just it's been in every season, but it's been in just one small little scene, small little part in every season, and it's always like come off as like a joke, and I don't know where it's going with it, but I love it every time it comes back. Like last season, it was a bunch of like I think the first season a dude found it and he got captured, but they got stuck in the tomb. So he died when he tried to make him his host. The second season, a bunch of women found it. And he was like, "Oh wait, y'all are female. I don't possess females. It's got to be a male to be my host." And then you kind of saw it in the little teaser videos I kind of got up here. He came back at the end of this season when Immortal and was fighting one of the Invincibles, and they broke out, and he broke out, but he almost got a mark, but he didn't. So yeah, that's been one of my favorite damn one of my favorite running gags. I don't know what the hell it's leading to. I don't know what the hell it's for. I just find it hilarious every time. Um yeah. Sad about my boy Rex. He went out like a G though. Great character development, great character arc. He's gonna be one of those characters we talk about when we talk about just character redemptions and shit like that. So that's really cool for me. Um, yeah, like I said, Conquest, the end, that whole fight, that was fucking great. I'm very much enjoying this series. It's turned into one of my favorite series. I don't know what the hell Amazon is on, but they have been on a roll with these damn original series as of late, especially these adult superhero ones. But I'm enjoying the hell out of it. I gotta read the comics so I can figure out where things are going and kind of get the differences of everything. So that's me. So that's what I gotta say. So like I said, probably not too long of a video because yeah, Invincible season 3 is fucking gas. I'm excited for season 4. This has been a phenomenal show. I hope they manage to keep it up. I don't know how long it'll go for, but yeah. I also think the success of the show was also kind of bringing like the comics back. I think it was in the thing. They're bringing back some one shot comics. I think Battle Beast has a his own comic line coming up, so it's actually revived like some interest in the comics as well. So they're doing some new stuff there. So that's really cool. But yeah, so that is it for this impressions video. Like I said, I just watched Invincible season 3. It's fantastic. I recommend it to everybody out there if you're interested in it. If you haven't seen it, if you have, let me know what you think of the season. What were some of your favorite parts? Some of your least favorite parts? You excited for season 4? They did announce a little image of some stuff that we'll probably talk about. We'll talk about in the news drop in the future. But yeah, so we got season 4. Hopefully, I think they saying it's planned for 2026, if I'm not mistaken. So hopefully, we don't got like a damn 2-3 year wait between seasons anymore. But yeah, Invisible season 3. It's fucking phenomenal. It's great. Thank you so much for watching. I very much do appreciate it. Make sure you leave a comment. Like I said, your thoughts on Invincible season 3. Check out some of the other stuff we got on the channel. Um, I got Dragon Age, the Veilguard walkthroughs on the channel, Origins. I think the first thing was the last thing. It was our first thing in our review. I'll talk about Captain America, the newest one. I was gonna say, why the fuck was I finna say the what the fuck was I finna say the Brave and the Bold? Captain America, Brave New World. We talk about that. I'm literally finna record another one after this one, so there'll be a second one out there somewhere after this one goes up. So pay attention for that one as well. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Get in on the ground floor if you enjoy what I'm doing over here. So till next time, everybody, I will see you all next time.